Hello everyone, my name is October Raven, and the name of the game is Disco Elysium. So, continue where we left off. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and obey.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Looks like the streets are abandoned right now. Damn, he's still up there.
Last we saw, your race was being superseded by the Seminese.
Figuring out what I can still do at this hour.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Let's look
You
around.
catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds. Two men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window.
Ah, Martinez at night.
So where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
Seems like a shithole.
It has its problems.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, the last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Hey, you know what these holes mean, Kim?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have asked you to keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
I walk the land telling whores and liars of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining.
Cool. I'm glad you joined us. Not a lot of money in doom crying. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
216.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Well, I don't know if I can ever become this person again. What's that last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
That's, wow, so I've killed people.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How do you handle all this?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
Maybe I should pour one out for the boys.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
Yes.
A dark pool of cheap wine appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema.
I'll make it okay with the power of rock and roll.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
So atmospheric, this city of night. I love it. Here we go.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
So, what world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode,
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
It must be. This is the greatest and the kindest arrangement the atoms had in them.
So the best of all possible worlds.
Indeed. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it. These archipelagos included Elysium.
Elysium. I don't know if this world deserves a term of endearment like that.
There are those who would call it hell.
Hell.
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I got a whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
So what shape is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revichol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Dark gray corona.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Wait, what are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
What does this all mean?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
I don't know if that'll bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You love it.
Well, if you say it's disco.
Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. Remember, we have a cadaver to attend to.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
Wait. What do you mean it's not part of reality?
Ma'am, remember you are dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical episode.
The Lieutenant's right. Let's change topics. What do you want to know? Anything.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Can you step aside for a bit?
Is what you want to do. But should you? He expressly stated you shouldn't hear about it. What if it renders you mad? Or catatonic? Or makes you lose your memory again?
Yes? Glad to have been of assistance.
So figure out... Alright, so let's go around town a bit.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran Butter.
Oh, cool. I could directly control the character if I wanted to. Can I make him walk? There we go. There's gotta be something else I can find to do while I'm here.
The trash container
I don't need to be there now.
The tear machine stands and your bottles clunk into the machine and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
I mean, not much richer, but... maybe we can sell some things.
You see rows of... Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
But who's her? Oh, fine, I'll buy this thing.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Okay.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away.
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
Sorry about that.
I do appreciate it. Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
It's cool that you're still open.
The pawn shop is always open.
Nope, still no clue. You obviously haven't been doing enough drugs lately.
You happy they carry any guns like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God, the lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
So I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
What else are you not telling me?
You weren't quiet yourself, officer. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though. There's pity there, too, in case you didn't notice.
Jeez. episode best was, I
It
guess.
certainly does, especially in Rivershoal.
Was the buyer a policeman?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Maybe she's a vigilante. She wants to prove she can do her jobs better than we can.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
Where can I find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Well, let's talk about something
Of
else.
course.
There's something I like
Sure.
to sell.
Let me have a look.
I like to sell my
I'm not
clothes.
purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
That's not.
Another time, perhaps.
Damn, I was hoping to sell some of those clothes. Actually, I could sell. Well, let's see if I need it. I might need it. Oh, shit. Okay.
Hello again, officer.
So late,
How
you're
are
still here.
things? I'm a Nighthawk. What can I say?
Odd. There's a little meanness in that smile.
So what's this fuck the police business?
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should...
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
What about that other sign?
I don't know anything about that either. As I said, I didn't write it.
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police. It's not loving.
No need to worry, we are not saying you did.
Okay. Well,
Alrighty. Maybe it was Cindy.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
What happened here?
Can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
Except for stuff in the fridge.
Indeed.
trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
You're not even sleeping.
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever. Trying to sneak up.
Okay.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet hole.
Pat the box.
The box seems happy.
Damn, couldn't get any more morale out of that. Worth a shot. Worth a shot. Well, let's try one more time.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. As you breathe in,
Finally,
the odor comes over you. It's the smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons.
Did they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Take a look at his boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Weird. Look at these boots, Kim. They look like armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Well, what about the armor?
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
So what kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
So maybe he was just wearing the boots and there's no rest of the armor?
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Nice. That makes sense.
Maybe they told him to strip before they hung him.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Clearly Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
Material looks out of place
It
here.
is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much we're talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
So that's 5,500 real?
Not too much, yes.
No wonder I can't pay my hostel bill.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
How does this guy have such expensive armor?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
Well, that's pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates, where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates, until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
Why does this seem all familiar?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number here.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
No.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Okay. Let's try to pull the boat off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
What's wrong?
You're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
I'm gonna pull his head off, right?
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Are we not detectives?
How many clues do you need? You already found the number. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Try like a plan.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
What's gonna happen to the boots then?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, because I don't know either, but this is used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently it's reinforced kind. apparently my brain tells me that.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Well, I definitely want it up there. This is a reinforced rope.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
So we're thinking the dockworkers did it.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
I don't remember anything, dude.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
How do they even get him up here?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
They climb up using that ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Let's look at the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
Well, mine be Mike Bryan.
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Is this a microelectronic system?
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite complex enough, is it?
Oh, I'm missing something.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
That's really cool.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
So, what's the photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it?
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Who are you, dead man?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
How do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Huh.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His hands and face are pink. The thighs.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he was up right after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Maybe he was strangled.
Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
He's been beaten
I
up.
do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Something's coming
The
out of
pool
him.
of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Maybe he took a crap before going, before death.
Maybe.
Well, he's definitely dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his body in his composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing. Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Can't you see I'm throwing rocks?
So I have questions for you.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
Well, first I found your shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
I phase shifted through it.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
He can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck at you again.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
What's with the tube of magnesium solum?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
It's magnesium, right?
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
I know all about magnesium. I use it all the time.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
That my code up there? It looks like it's mine.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
Oh, thanks.
Whatever,
Kid.
piggy.
So, what's with that plate covered with powder?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
What's the pig head?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Trying to send a message of some sort?
Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off.
Okay. Think I can get to the harbor from there?
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig.
Easy.
Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait to see you get all scared and shit your pants.
Kuno can't wait to see you shit your fat pan.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
So, what do you know about the body?
Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno.
Tim, help me out here. What do we need to know again?
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
The usual being, have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Or have you seen anything suspicious?
So where's the rest of the armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Look at him.
A mutant?
Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
What do you mean threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
Troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Ah, Manana.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Why are you telling me this, Kuno?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
So do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
So you don't need anything.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make the Kuno sing into the popo phone.
Do you know how I got in there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So you didn't see it happening.
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Okay, where did you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
I doubt that.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Yeah, Night City's in Cyberpunk 2077. So no.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't been where Kuno's been. You haven't been in Kuno's head. You want to know where Kuno was? You want to know what Kuno's been fucking up to?
Don't tell him that, Kuno. It's lame.
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's city. Night City. Rage City. The City of Rage. That's it. And it's not lame.
Lame.
That's the name of Kuno's city, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that.
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment. If it's important, it'll come up later. Focus on the case.
So, have you seen anyone suspicious around?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
Looks like you're a faggoty now, whatever that means. The suspicious question doesn't really work in antagonistic situations.
Well, what about the bruises on his body?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
No, it's just a bruise. Talk about the marcher stones left in the body.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
More on this later.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
Alright. So you often play in this yard.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it?
Dead man's clothes were in the container. You know how they got there?
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
Oh, I need to know. Could be a lead in the investigation.
Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Right. I asked you what happened to his clothes, so you must have seen him wandering around.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now, you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
No, I already have pants.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig.
Right. So there was a mug in the trash too.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Yeah, does this racist mug have anything to do with
Yeah,
it?
Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you picked it after the mug fucker? Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. So I'm gonna tamper with the crime scene and clean some of it up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting two and two together here.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face.
Ever climb that ladder?
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
So no.
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno.
What's with the greenhouse?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kit is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
So the woman by the hostel.
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds.
Maybe I should ask her.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Let's talk about something
Yeah,
else.
whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
So, who is Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
So you refer to yourself in the third person to distance yourself from your life.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying, trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
The boy knows he has an addictive personality. Admirable insight for his age.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Just answer the question.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pig's in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Look, kid, I haven't done anything to you.
Fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno!
What is this sick charade?
No! Get off Kuno, you sick fat fuck!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
Who put you up to this?
No one. Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
Someone put you up to it.
You put him up to this yourself when you decided to talk to him in the first place.
Listen to your friend.
The guards put you up to it.
Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno!
Are you high right now?
Help! Misters, help!
He's having the time of his life. Total ecstasy. Fuck the pig.
He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late! Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopathic ghost with an ace up his sleeve.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look.
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that. There's a dead body, remember? That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
Why don't we get back to the interview, Kuno?
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should have, because now you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
Nice peepo, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You're just Kuno's bottom bitch!
I just had some questions with the crime scene.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click!
Yeah, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
Just want to ask you some questions.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Straight. Why are those strange words you use, girl?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of her face. You got done. Talk to me. Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Right. Anyway. Nope, she's gone.
Yes?
So, I don't remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Look, I don't remember anything. There was heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
I'm completely lacking in basic organization, even about the police.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Okay.
Really? You look fine to me.
I mean, I'm talking serious, unbelievable damage. I saw myself in the mirror and I had no idea who I was.
This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
Look, this has got to be some major brain damage. Unprecedented scale.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
I want to talk about you.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Oh, work together if we can help each other better.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
What's up with your glasses?
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Oh, that's so cool.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
So you don't look like most of the people around
That's
here.
because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
Okay, what is Seoul?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
Actually, I do want to know.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholian.
Very
A
well.
point of pride to him.
Tell me something about yourself.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
So do you ever talk to
What do you
yourself?
mean?
Like, you have, like, conversations with your brain.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
So how do you, you know...
What? Think? I do most of my work inside my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his familiar mnemotechnique A6 and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject. What do you want to know?
Literally anything about it.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Yes, the brief.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
So, the briefing doesn't say who the victim was.
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
We don't know anything about the caller.
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
So our job is to find the killer.
That's right.
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
But could it be sexy?
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
You're sure there's not an X we can be considering?
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder
Sex
rights.
angle.
We'll get on it immediately.
The wary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Well, it doesn't have to be a cult.
That's commendable. Was there anything else?
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
So why are we on the same case? We're in different precincts.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know I have the amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop-off?
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
It seems relevant.
Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
That's good for
Good.
now.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
Alright.
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Well, this is the balcony. I thought we were going to talk on the balcony.
Yes?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
All right.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
So how do you think today went?
Well, we didn't really look at the body, but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great.
Though you really dropped the ball on inspecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
I prefer to search the crime scene then move with you.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I don't know why I do anything I do.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those heels. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
So you smoke?
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How'd you get so cool, kid?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
So what are her powers exactly?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Ravachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Okay. Well, what about... Isn't that easy to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
And if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in the watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
And what happens to people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
So if I kill someone on duty, what happens?
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
So who makes all these rules? The Coalition?
Yes, the International Community's mission in Ravachol, and the Moral Inter more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. so we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Relachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
We'll say it was the citizens.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton Lysis has the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
So what's the Moral
The
Intern?
Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
No, I don't know.
Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What's their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
I prefer... What was it? Justice, loyalty, and commitment.
Something kind and usual.
Oh, no. Discipline, justice, and commitment.
Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
Yep.
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
So you like them?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
That's another leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
You know what I think?
Do you?
I think they did an awful job here. Look at this place.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
I don't know. Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like
It's
this?
our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our 2 precincts.
About Jamrock and the Gree.
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Well, maybe we'll do some good here.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Thanks for the help, man.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Now that I'm on my own. What did he say? By 2 o'clock, everyone's asleep.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
That's late. Don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
That way you can answer some... Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
You look pretty young to me.
Thank you. I do what I can to remain presentable. Now, ask me some questions. It'll help us pass the night. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
So what is pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
And what is an isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Muindi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde, an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
What's the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
It's
The
antimatter.
negation of being.
Negation of...
That's right. The negation of being.
Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
What about there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse.
Huh.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
So how do we get from Isla to Isla?
Oh, it is so difficult for us. It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind.
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Wow.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does all this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
But you're not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories.
You might be over-radiated.
Up to my gills, officer.
So what is entropanetic?
Entropanetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
I've been trying to hold it, but I need to go to the bathroom. BRB. Sorry about that, folks. Let's continue. We're usually about 10 minutes from my end time, but we'll continue this conversation at least.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
So what's changed?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we don't?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
So how much Pale is there compared to the rest of the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
I guess that's slipping towards the Pale.
What do you think, detective?
It's growing. I think it's growing.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Not sound extreme at all. It seems like it's gonna happen.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It will end everything.
Mm-hmm. You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
The investigation will be my masterpiece. I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
One last thing. You know anything about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you do know something.
Better not tie the fourth day to the Bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it. Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
What's that Taola?
Ulogu Theodos. Xino Zausin. Ipoli Osidien. Echondes Fronisin.
When does countdown begin?
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of that insane world-ending stuff I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Kind of a joke.
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
I'm a little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos.
I mean, if what she said is true, then yeah, the world will end.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Damn, I shouldn't have opted out of a couple of those, but oh well.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. The mute machine is unable to confirm or deny your theory. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onak, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower.
I see.
You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
Oh wait, this guy. He doesn't know anything.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory. But not quite. Gone.
Who are you? What does it mean?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers. Oh, and the cool piece of toilet paper is stuck to the back.
Alright. So I gotta read the case file another time. Alright, I'm gonna take a bit of a break. And get back to this game, this amazing game later. Until then, let's do haiku the stream. Haiku stream is magical sand dunes, stuffed tall crocodile jewels beyond the turtle. And that'll be it for now. Like I said, I'm going to take a break. I might come back to this later. Until then, later.